So UFC Kansas City was just announced. Finally made it official. This was already very much rumored. There were some fights in here that were also rumored, but they seem to be now official. And it will be at the T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. I think the last time you were here, was it Holloway versus Allen? I think it was Holloway versus Allen. Yeah, I remember. But yeah, it's been a while. We came back, and they just announced the fights, and it's crazy. First, finally after so long, Jamal Hill versus Rountree Jr. This was a fight that was actually meant to be made for UFC 303, but Conor McGregor pulled out. Jamal Hill and Rountree Jr. had their own problems, and this fight fell apart, and it got replaced with Anthony Smith versus Roman Dolidze. Plus, Rountree went to later fight for the title against Pereira. Jamal Hill went to fight Yuri. Both of them suffered TKO losses. Honestly, I think this is the perfect fight to make. I've been calling for this fight for a while now, and man, I'm excited. This is a fight that I've been wanting to see, just because I think this is a good bounce back fight for Jamal Hill. I mean, he did really good against Yuri, and I just felt like I think the ACL injury has been affecting him, and I don't know. I used to be confident because Jamal Hill before that I mean, not the ACL, the Achilles injury, he was actually really good striker, really precise. He had good power, and I felt like that would have given Pereira a tougher fight in UFC 300, but he did UFC 300 on short notice, and I'm not taking this away from Pereira because a first round knockout and making it that easy against Jamal Hill, I mean, injury or not, if he was even fully prepared, he would have still lost. But I just feel like Jamal Hill has definitely been getting better back to where he is because he had a really good performance against Yuri Prochazka. Kept the fight competitive. He won round 2. It's just that, I just think that Yuri just was a different man that night. He took on a whole new evolution. Like, he really did improve, and I think it's a good fight. I mean, they're both southpaw. They're both really good strikers. They have good power. I expect this to be a war, and I expect this to end in a finish. This will end in a knockout. And if I were to give my prediction right now, I'd probably go with Rountree. I just feel like Rountree did prove himself a lot in that Pereira fight. He's a very dangerous striker. He's a very explosive striker, and he has power. And I just feel like when you're going against like Jamal Hill, who's defensively, I just don't feel like that's a good matchup for Rountree. Like, I just don't think Jamal Hill's defense, the way he fights, I don't think that's a good matchup. And I think Rountree will probably knock out Jamal Hill. And it sucks to see Jamal Hill get like 3 knockout losses in a row, but let's face it, guys. He got that title shot in a very, very convenient era, and he had to go against an aging Glover, who was on 1 month short notice for that. So I think Jamal Hill is still a very good striker. I just feel like with the competition he's facing, I mean, he's just going to go down in the rankings. And I mean, I'm really interested to see this fight. I think this is a perfect main event to have for a UFC Kansas City event. I mean, this is going to be a banger. This will be really good. But I think this is a good one. I mean, Jamal Hill can definitely win this, but I would lean towards Khalil Rountree. I'm really torn on this because I feel like people were sleeping on Jamal Hill. I think he really showed a lot of heart in that Yuri Prochazka fight, and I just think Yuri Prochazka is just levels above a lot of the light heavyweights. I mean, if Alex Pereira was never in light heavyweight, if he stayed at middleweight, Yuri would be champion still, and that is a fact that I will keep defending. And I feel like Jamal Hill still got it. I think he still got it. He had a really good performance against Yuri. I think in this fight you will definitely show levels, and although I might side with Rountree, I might go with Jamal Hill. Right now, my prediction, I keep flip-flopping because this fight is actually a lot closer than a lot of people think. I think I'm concerned about Jamal Hill's chin. considering that Khalil Rountree does hit pretty hard, but we'll see. I think this is a pretty close fight. I think it'll be a competitive one, and it'll definitely end in a knockout. But right now, I'm a little bit edging it towards Rountree, just because I feel like Rountree's going to come back with a vengeance. He wants to go fight for that title again, and I think if he does win this, he definitely deserves to be in a title eliminator. So, yeah, have at it. I like this fight. This is a really good fight. Next, we got Anthony Smith versus Zhang Minyang, bro. I mean, this fight was already rumored to happen. I knew this was going to happen, and it did happen. Well, Zhang Minyang can finally become ranked, because I doubt Smith is going to win this. He's not. Zhang is just really dangerous guy. He's on a big streak right now. He's just knocking people out left and right. And I really like this performance against Diaz. I like this performance against Ribeiro. I mean, he had really, and his performance against Tukos as well. I mean, he is on a roll right now, and I keep saying and. But Anthony Smith, this is his retirement fight. The fact that he's still ranked is crazy, but he probably won't be ranked after this. This is going to be his last fight. I hope he does retire after this, because this is a very horrible fight for him. He's going to lose. I don't have any hope for Anthony Smith anymore. Especially at his Dominic Reyes performance. It just feels like he doesn't really want to fight anymore. He lost that fire. He lost that hunger. It's like he's fine just being the commentator and podcaster. And if that works out for him, if he wants to be with his family, let him be with his family. I think this guy deserves a retirement. Although, yes, he doesn't have the best resume. I mean, he could have done. He survived 5 rounds with Jones. He defeated Gustafsson. He finished Gustafsson, actually. So, yeah, I think Smith definitely has he has a good resume, but I think this is his fight to retire. And I'm actually kind of glad that Zhang Minyang is finally getting a ranked opponent. And, we'll see. I think Young has some potential, but this will be a good step up in competition. Not really that much of a step up, though. It's Anthony Smith, but Anthony Smith got that championship level experience. We'll see. But I'm going with Zhang Minyang. I think everyone is gonna go with Zhang Minyang, and maybe my dumb ass will just bet on Anthony Smith the underdog for that, because it's probably gonna make me a lot of money. But nah, Zhang Minyang's gonna win this. It's pretty obvious. Next, we got Chikadze versus Onama. Chikadze has kind of been on a downward trend. He had a good competitive fight against Allen, but Allen was clearly the better man that night. And I just feel like Onama's just not a good matchup for him. So, I'm going to go with Onama. It might change. Dude, I'm not really a big fan of either of these guys, so I guess it's more objective. But I'm going to go with Onama. I think Chikadze is he's on a downward trend. Onama has some momentum on him. And I think Onama's very talented. He's a good striker. He has some good grappling. I think that Chikadze is kind of going near to the end. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. We got Pereira versus Magomedov. Now, the fact that Michel Pereira is number 13 is kind of crazy. Because, I don't know, I mean, he didn't lose to Anthony Hernandez, which, honestly, many people have not been able to beat him yet. So, the fact that this is a 3-round fight is kind of a lifesaver, because if this was a 5-round fight, I probably would have laughed my guts off. Been like, bro, these are the last guys you want in a 5-round fight. Thank God it isn't. But, yeah, I'm going to go with... I mean, both of these guys gas pretty easily. And in terms of, like, people who, like, gas and do better, I think Abus probably does better when he's gassed. But both of these guys don't have good cardio. But I do feel like Pereira could definitely make a statement here. He could probably knock him out knock him out and do some weird ass shit in the first round. This is a fight where you really don't know what's gonna happen because Pereira is such a wild card. This guy just does so many things, bro. And so I don't know if I can pick a fight, pick whoever yet. I mean, I'm probably just edging towards Magomedov because I just feel like he's a better, well-rounded fighter. I think he has a little bit of a better gas tank, and I just think that if these guys gassed in like the second round, I feel like Abus would probably do better. Or maybe gas less. Next, we got Alex Guerrero versus Muniz. Alex Guerrero's coming off a knockout loss, a brutal knockout loss to Robert Whittaker, but that's expected. It's Robert fucking Whittaker. And Robert Whittaker, he was on his peak then. It sucks that Khamzat wasn't able to fight him on that night because I feel like it would have been a different fight if he fought him on that night. I think Khamzat just got lucky he was in Saudi Arabia. Abu Dhabi, actually. And Alex Guerrero is a good bounce back fight. I think he wins this fight. I think Alex Guerrero has a striking. I think he has good wrestling, and I don't really know much about this Muniz guy, but I think it'll be a good fight. I think Alex Guerrero wins this on points, though. Anyways, I mean that's pretty much all the fights on this UFC Kansas card. Yeah, that's actually pretty much it. Oh yeah, the UFC 311 press conference. It was something. It was kind of boring to me, honestly. What do you expect? You got the face-offs. This JDM's rocking that buzz cut hairstyle. Bilal Muhammad looking like definitely someone like who actually lives in Chicago. And you can tell that Bilal Muhammad has zero aura. He just looks like someone who's trying to be cool. And JDM is just like kind of chill. I don't know. Saying, oh yeah, we made Leon look easy. Yeah, some rounds he was actually doing really good against Leon, but like, come on, last 30 seconds wasn't that easy. We got Shevchenko versus Manon Fierro. Yeah, this is pretty easy. I think Shevchenko wins this one. I mean, Fierro's definitely a dangerous contender, but Shevchenko's on a different league, and I just want. Can we give Shevchenko like a double champ fight at this point? Why is she defending against fucking contenders? She defended the belt like 7 times. And then she beat Alexa Grasso. Like, what else does she need to do? Like, let her fight the fucking winner of Pena versus Harrison, please. Because I'd rather have her as double champ of the band. I'd rather have her as bantamweight champ than fucking Pena or Harrison. I don't like either of these guys. And, I mean, Harrison's better. I just think that Harrison is kind of overrated. But we'll see. Anyways, you know what? Since UFC Las Vegas 102 is here, let's UFC That's not the one. Where's the UFC page? Let's get my predictions for Kape versus Almabayev. Why not? I don't really give a fuck about this. I'm going with Vasu Almabayev. I just feel like his wrestling is wrestling in a single leg is very good. And against a guy like Manel Kape who has he has a lot of trouble defending those single legs, those takedowns, and those are Asu's speciality. I just feel like in a 5-round fight, I would favor Asu more. I think this is Asu's fight to win. But Kape is a very good striker. I just feel like this fight's a lot closer. I think it'll be a competitive one. But if Asu brings this to the ground, I doubt I see Kape really exchanging. And the takedown threat kind of does affect his striking. So I'm going to go with Asu Almabayev. I think he's a very good contender. I think his striking could be a bit better. But well, who am I to judge? He's a fucking UFC fighter and I'm a fucking brown kid studying to be a doctor. So I don't really fucking know much. And yeah, that's all. I don't give a fuck about this event. Anyways, let's go back to what I really care about. So, yeah, Kansas City. Got the whole bout list right here. Jamal Hill versus Cleo Rountree. Anthony Smith versus Zhang Minyang. Giga Chikadze versus David Onama. Michelle Pereira versus Abus Magomedov. Ikram Alaskara versus Andre Muniz. I'm thinking this is probably the main card. There'll probably be some free prelim fights for this. But yeah, oh, like the comment says right there, that's a quick turnaround for Hill. I forgot to mention that. Like, yeah, Jamal Hill. This is April. This is gonna only be 4 months since he got knocked out by Yuri, and he got knocked out hard. Got dropped like 3 times in that fight. So I don't know. I feel like Rountree definitely got this. I think this is Rountree's fight to win. I don't like the fact that Jamal Hill is just keep going to the fight, but I respect the activity though. He's getting back to it. Anyways, that's all. This is gonna be a fun card. I think it'll be a good card. I think there's some really good fights in here, and all these fights are really good. Anyways, that'll be all.